Fiona at Flores, Puerto de Lasha.
Flores is named after the profusion of flowers that grow in the gardens and valleys. It's an absolutely beautiful island. This is the jib furling gear which broke as a consequence of the bobstay breaking, and in Horta we cut a couple of inches off with the Dremel tool and rebuilt it.
Our new sign at Horta, which is very similar to the old one, and you can see some of the artwork here stretches for half a mile, I think.
When a ship crosses the equator, you get a visit from Father Neptune. There's David being inducted as a son of Neptune, having a drink. There's Bob with his certificate to show he crossed the line. This is a view of St. Anthony's Bay, Fernando de Noronha, from Elder's Bar. When we got into the South Atlantic, the sure sign of the Southern Ocean is the wandering albatross, a graceful bird. You generally see a few every day when you're down there. Table Mountain forms a fitting backdrop for our second departure from Cape Town. When the cloud lies on the mountain like that, it's called a tablecloth.
There goes the sun sinking away.
We're waiting for a rare optical phenomena called the green flash.
That looks like a green flash straight up. You see that green line?
Yes.
See the green line straight up?
Yeah.
That's a green flash, I think.
The dramatic coast of Kerguelen Island, the most remote habited island in the world.
There you go. Cranberry.
Good sailing running downwind in the Southern Ocean. When we were 800 miles from Tasmania, the main supporting strut of the self-steerer broke, and so we decided to go to Australia instead of New Zealand. You have to be flexible when you're sailing. A week or two after leaving Auckland, we hove to in winds up to 60 knots, and unfortunately a heavy wave broke over the bow and burst the staysail. Good job Bob wasn't there at that time.
Okay, we're typical situation, we're preparing the sails. We're at about 51 south and we just spent the day hove to, and a big wave came and washed out the staysail. Okay, we have a birthday boy today. David is all of 23.
Right.
And we're about 2,000 miles west of Cape Horn, at nearly 53 south.
Catching up to these old men today.
Say that all again now.
I said I'm 23, I'm catching up to these old men today.
You got a long way to go, kid. And Bob's on watch, so he's dressed up because we're still looking at gale force winds here.
Yeah, it's still pretty ugly out there.
The heavy winds of 50 to 55 knots during David's party.
150 miles west of Cape Horn here. Suburbia has come to Stanley. All these houses are new since I was here. Most of them built within the last 5 years, I believe. Now they can keep up with the Joneses. Here's the Globe Tavern that the crew know well.
Here are some attractive Victorian terraced houses in downtown Stanley, and this whalebone rib arch is outside the church.
The government house where the governor lives, the Queen's representative.
We just collected the Royal Mail from Stanley. This is heading for South Georgia. It's our job to get it there. So they've given us quite a bag. I don't think we expected this much. Weighs a good 15 or 18 pounds.
No wind and no visibility.
When the fog lifted, we found ourselves in a field of icebergs that stretched for hundreds of miles. Some were a more conventional shape, tipped up on end. And others were very big and flat, obviously broken off from the ice shelf which lies to the south of South Georgia. Icebergs greet our approach to South Georgia Island.
The sun's coming up on the mountains here. Lovely shot.
Bob and David march over the soft tundra to the cemetery. Its most famous inhabitant is Sir Ernest Shackleton, the Antarctic explorer, who's buried here. We're visited by molting chinstrap penguins as we are tied up to the somewhat rotting dock at Grytviken.
King Edward Point in the distance, and turning around here are the whale catchers that have been abandoned here for many years. Well, we've turned north for Brazil. Soon we're saying goodbye in a day or two probably to guys like this.
Heavy weather in the roaring 40s. Bob and David working on the foredeck there. This is a typical Maine scene in summer. The charter schooner, the Margaret Todd. Andrew is there on the foredeck spotting lobster pot floats for the helmsman.
Lobster pots everywhere.
New Shoreham, Block Island. Here comes the ferry. Mike decided to go for a swim in Block Island. How warm is it, Mike?
Can't get me there, huh? Alright.
Sure we can.
Right there.
Say, how warm is it?
It's not bad at all. I'll tell you, I can stay in.
Cheers.
Malcolm and Mike enjoy the last happy hour with me in Great Salt Pond, Block Island, before we leave for Patchogue. The Circumnavigation pennant of the Cruising Club of America surmounts the flags of all the countries that we visited in our 15-month cruise. We sailed 32,869 miles. I'm dressed in my blazer and tie, traditional way I usually finish all my sails.